Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
Uh-oh. We are back. Thank you for joining us yet again on the Almost Brothers podcast. This will be the last episode for season 1 of the podcast. So we're going to reminisce today and talk about how awesome it's been and what we look forward to in season 2 coming up. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode. How you doing, Jeremiah?
Man, I'm doing good.
He's here.
I'm doing good.
Yes. Oh, man, I am excited. I'm excited for this season 2, but I'm also excited for today's episode, just talking about just how awesome it's been so far.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride.
Man, yes, it has been so fun, and
yeah,
you know, just the people we've had on. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's talk about. You know, you've been out for a while.
Man, we were
sick.
Yeah, well, I never got sick, but my wife did. She got the COVID, and
the plague.
she was down for about 10 days. I mean, just did not feel good. But me and the kids were quarantined for like 4 weeks. It was rough.
Isn't it like if you're around somebody, you're quarantined even longer than the person
you're 2 weeks after they're out of quarantine. So, yeah, yeah, we were never even sick, but we were quarantined longer than my wife. And you know how it's been. I mean, the kids finally got to, go to school and stuff. And just with the summer, as crazy as it had been. Yeah. And then, to have another month of school off with the kids, it was just, it was a lot.
Oh, Lord. And 2 boys too. Oh, yeah. Lord.
And especially, when my wife went back to work, it was just the 3 of us boys there, and our house kind of got funky, It was just, it's just good to be out. It's good to be back out.
Yeah, for sure. Now, oh gosh, what was I going to ask you? Oh, is this their last week? Is there, and
yes, they're out Friday.
It's like what? They was back.
They came back and went a week. They just got to go back last Friday.
They just got it made.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I know. That's how Malden is. We just went back. Oh, what did we get back? Last week was our first week back. So we're back last week and then this week, and then they're off a half a day Friday, and then they're out for 2 weeks. I'm like, you should have just shut it down.
These kids have missed more school.
Yeah.
Since this pandemic started than I ever missed in my whole life.
Yeah. All 4 years high school.
I guarantee you all through kindergarten to 12.
Yeah. That's true too.
I promise you.
That's what I always tell them. Like when there's a snow day and there's half an inch of snow on the ground and they cancel school. I'm like, we used to have, it used to be up to our knees. Like, no, there's still school. They cleared the roads off.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, well, y'all, no school today. The wind's blowing.
Our school wouldn't cancel just because we had like a game that night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we cannot cancel school. We have a basketball game.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So those are the days.
That's one thing me and Mike kind of talked about last week is, well, I feel bad for like coaches or even kids that this is their senior year, and they expected to, to play sports or whatever. Cause I know our basketball team, like they had a good 5 or 6 players that were either quarantined or like completely out because they went all virtual this year, and I guess if you're virtual, you can't play sports. So they're just, it's like, man,
I hate that for them, man. Cause, my wife's youngest daughter, Betty, the wrestler, she missed out on, her senior year basically.
I didn't even think
she was,
that.
Went to state the year before, and then, with everything that happened last spring, she missed all that. And graduation was weird, because everybody, they had a very limited amount of people that could go, and I feel bad for the kids, because it's a once in a lifetime experience, and it's just been, just been tainted with everything that's been going on, you know.
Good word.
Yeah.
Tainted. Okay.
Yeah, I've been studying.
And then, yeah, in college.
Actually, yeah, we're both college.
That's right.
College.
So you got, so our finals week was the same week, right? Last week.
Yeah, I just finished up.
How does it feel to not have that on the back of your mind, like as you go throughout your day?
It feels good. You know, I would just, I took it so seriously this time.
Yeah.
When I was in school, you know, I graduated high school and go to college, you know, when you're 18 years old, it's like, I wish I would have taken it as serious as I did this time, you know, but you know, it's difference in 18 and 40.
Yeah,
know?
that's very true.
And but it was awesome though, because I just took the second 8 week.
Yeah.
So I had to cram basically the whole 16-week schedule into 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But I only took 2 classes, but it was still a lot. It was just a lot of material to cover in a short period of time, but it was cool. Everything
especially
went well.
when you haven't done it in so long.
Yeah, I know. It was to kind of like to retrain your brain to kind of think, and writing papers is hard. We were talking about that earlier. The writing papers thing, that blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
I just flat out told my teacher, I was like, hey, look, I haven't wrote a paper in over 20 years. You're going to have to cut me a little slack.
Yep.
And then he did. You know?
Like, I'm older than you, professor, so just give me a couple weeks to get in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know I felt so stupid when I'd ask questions about the simplest thing, air quotes. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. 1 inch borders. No idea what that is. Cause I've never wrote a paper. I don't know if I never wrote a paper or I was supposed to and I just never did in high school, but I never remember us being assigned like an actual typing paper. Yeah. Because most of, I'm going to say 90% of our school didn't have access to a computer.
I can remember being in high school whenever the internet was introduced.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like my junior year, I think.
Yep.
So, and it was like a big deal. Oh, yeah. It's like, we definitely didn't use it to write papers though.
Yep.
We still just wrote papers.
The old Apple computer with Oregon Trail on it.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't do any kind of nothing.
That was like
Oregon
grade
Trail.
school for me.
Oh yeah. See, that was probably like
in the early 90s.
Yeah. That was probably 3rd grade for me. Something like that. So but I don't know. I think it was around before then, but it was the first time that we got it that I can remember. And that was all we did on it is play the game word or number munchers, whatever it is. That was it. I didn't type on it. I didn't know what a keyboard. And I think the first computer I actually ever owned was about 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That I actually paid for and owned myself. You know, I every now and then I'd have like hand-me-downs, or we had one at the house for a little bit. And a teenage boy, I got in some trouble, as you can imagine, having access to the internet and the computer in my own room. So that didn't last very long.
Right.
But, it was the first one I bought. And of course you have to do it right. And I got the Apple computer because is there really any other?
Moving on.
No, but so it was a learning, a very big learning curve, you know. You've had, and going from kind of doing your homework on an iPad or on a phone, which is what I did kind of before that, to a full-fledged computer. It's a very different thing. You know, I thought, well, I've been doing it on an iPad, so I should know how to do it. And it's just like complete different worlds. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. But after a while, you know, you get used to it and you get in the flow. So I know this Sunday night, that's what I was telling Jamie, it was so good to just have dinner and not think about, this is due by midnight. I've got to hurry up and get all this done. So
everything that I had was either always due like Friday at midnight or Sunday at midnight. So my weekends were always a little stressful. I tried to do some stuff during the week, but you know how when you're working full time, it doesn't always pan out like that. You know, it's just like, well, I got tomorrow night and all day. Well, the next thing you know, it's Friday at 8:00 and I'm just cramming and scrambling, trying to get everything done. But
having the internet hiccups and starting to panic.
I never had any issues with the internet or anything yet. I know that you had told me about that. So to prepare for that, I got hotspot on my phone. Nice. So, so even if it is crunch time and something would happen with my internet, I can always just turn my phone hotspot on and at least limp through. Yeah. You know what I mean? I do have a backup plan.
That's a very good backup.
I didn't have any issues.
That's why I had last semester. But the teacher kind of understood because I guess they can go on there and see you were on there and then all of a sudden you disappeared. Like
Right.
you weren't on there anymore. Because I was smack dab in the middle of a time test.
Oh yeah.
And it just dropped out for 10 minutes, something like that. And the internet dropped out, couldn't get back on. Then finally I was able to get back on. And by then, the time doesn't stop.
Right.
So it just completely went down. So I jumped out, emailed my teacher, hey, I got kicked off. Like, is there any way I can extend this? And she was really cool. So shout out to, I think it was Dr. Chisholm. She better be listening because I told her about this last semester. So she better be listening. But yeah, man, what a journey it's been in season 1.
Man, yeah, we talked about some really cool things.
Yeah.
Had some really, interesting guests on here.
Yes, for sure. Oh man, what is, because I kind of know mine. What's your favorite that you can think of off the top of your head? Your favorite episode?
My favorite episode, I think my favorite or the one I received the most feedback on.
Let's do both.
Both.
So your
My favorite, of course, I mean, obviously, is probably the one when you brought my really good friend Cromer in. It surprised me. That just absolutely blew me away. But the one that I had the most feedback on and the most, emails about and stuff was when we did forgiveness versus repentance.
Yeah.
Like that really seemed to hit home with a lot of people, and it hit home with us. I remember when we did it, I thought, man, that was really good because it even opened up my eyes to a lot of that stuff. Just, digging into that topic and talking about it. Those two are definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah, man, mine. I think my favorite was the very first one we did with all 4 of us, with me, you, Jamie, and Missy.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite because it was just so. Because we try to joke around on here, but most episodes we try to tackle some good topics and be able to kind of talk. And that very first one, it was just so relaxed, and it really felt like family. It felt like a little just family sit down discuss. If you're hanging out at the house and you've got people there, usually some kind of discussion comes about,
Right.
and everybody kind of jumps in. That's really what it felt like. It felt like we'd been family forever, and it was just so fun and goofy and. It was just a blast, such a blast. So that one always sticks out to me. But I think the one I got the most out of, man, there's so many. I love the one with Richard. That one was so fun. I like the one we did that was live. I mean, I had troubles afterwards with the video and the audio being synced up. But the one I think I got the most out of might have been the one we did with Chelsea, because of the background that we've had in our family. With that happening to my aunt and a few of my cousins, with the sexual assault and especially being a minor and kind of being like, my cousins were very young and they were kind of out. Feels like they didn't have control over that situation. So that really, it meant a lot to me. And I found out that my aunt who it happened to, she was the first one to come out when it all happened. Actually hadn't been listening up to that point to the podcast, but we listened to that, like just happened to be listening on that episode. And I know it meant a lot to her, and it really touched her. So I know that's the one that sticks out to me as probably the one I got the most out of. But man, they've all been so fun and so unique.
They have been. I always love it when our wives are on here. It's like we go from laughing to teared up, and then back to laughing again. It's always so good.
And that's what I love about it the most, is that it's raw and it's emotional, and it's, the laughter on here and the tears and the being upset and the being happy. It's all real live emotion as it's happening. That's the difference between, video, you can kind of edit it to the finished product, but on here we press record and we press stop. And
right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what goes up. There's no
good or bad. That's what we would do it.
Yep. Yeah. We've had people walk in and you hear doors opening, or when what was it, Chris? They kept messing with the
water bottle. Yes.
Like,
that's when we had him and Ben on. Yeah.
Yep, that made it in there. Pastor's phone ringing in the middle of the episode.
I think Esther came through one time looking for something, and
we just leave all that in there because man, we just want to hit record, and whatever comes out, comes out, and we just try to talk about stuff and kind of go through life together, and that's what's been the best part, man.
So what's new over there in the youth room, man? I've seen that. Well, it's been a month since I've been here, but there's a lot of things changed over there.
Man, it's first of all, I want to give a shout out to Rob, and that dude is just unreal, man. He's almost. I told him, you're up here about as much as I am. I'm up here about every day, but I mean, there's weekends where he'll come up here where I'm at home, and he'll come up here and be working on stuff and doing lights and doing music and running chords. And I know last weekend we put the drum cage up. He painted it, so now it's black and it matches everything else. And he just does an amazing job. And I don't think words can ever put how much I appreciate him. And not only him, but all the leaders back there. And dude, it's been about the past month and a half, these kids have opened up. Like the praise. I know a couple of weeks ago, we all kind of feel like it was a bottle of soda that had been shaken and shaken and shaken for months, since we first took over the youth here. And a couple of weeks ago, it's like that lid just got ripped off and just burst. And they were, jumping and singing at the top of their lungs. And altar call. I mean, we had an altar call a couple of weeks ago where, sometimes you have to pry and you have to pull, and it was as soon as the altar call was given, there wasn't not one person left. It was 40 youth, not a single one left in the seats.
That's awesome.
Every single one, just as it was given, boom. I mean, no, you'll kind of see the hesitation, and you'll see somebody step out, and then it comes. I mean, it was just all at once. It was
floodgates.
Oh my goodness. And just ever since then, it's just been a freedom back there that is just so refreshing and so good to see. And these kids' lives are being changed. And we had my aunt gave her life to the Lord last Wednesday night. It's
praise God. And
that's the good thing, man, is it's geared at youth, but really it's anybody that feels led to come back there. It's we have our regular service out front, and it's amazing, and God moves in that. And I always tell like my leaders, I'm like, come back here. We do need adult leaders to help, because we got a lot of kids, so we need as many eyes as we can get. So my aunt and her husband have been coming back there on Wednesdays, and she gave her life to the Lord last week. And it's awesome to see not only God moving in these kids' lives, but moving in the adults' lives that are back there as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome. Cause I know we had some adults that they've always wanted to work with youth, but never kind of had that opportunity. And, it's like, well, come back there and we'll plug you in, and we'll, I got, certain ones that open the service and close the service. I need people to pray and work the altars. And, it's not just for youth. I need adults there to help raise these youth, especially ones that have been through, different stuff than me and my wife has been through.
Right.
And, they could speak life into these kids that I can't speak life into,
Right.
So it's just awesome, man. It's awesome to see and awesome to be a part of. And for all my youth, I love y'all so much, and it's just been an amazing time, and we're so blessed to be a part of it. And I look so forward to what God is going to do in the future and the rest of this year and into 2021. I'm really excited about New Year's Eve. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we are too.
We had one youth that said, if we get 150 kids back here, I think we're going to blow that out of the water. Then he'll dye his hair pink.
Oh, cool. Who is that? You?
So, Jacob Koeman, yeah. He said, what did he say? He actually said, I'll let y'all dye my hair. And he said, anything but pink.
Oh, so it's got to be pink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we're going with. So, but yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome for sure. But yeah, I look forward to New Year's Eve. I look forward to y'all's devotionals, man. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You got what you're going to speak on yet? You don't have to share it, but
no, I've had it since the day you asked me to do it.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking
I've
about.
known what I wanted to, because I've had a few chances to minister to youth before, but never really stand up and like preach or give a devotion or anything. And I've always felt like, since I was that age, that my choices were, so important. I can see where I made certain choices that seemed insignificant, but had a huge impact on my future. And so I've always just felt like that's what I would like to talk to youth about, if ever given the chance. So that's kind of where it's going to go.
And then you're speaking Tuesday night.
Yes, Tuesday night at Voice of Zion. Yep.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Which I think we got practice, because if not, they would have usually we change it to Mondays if it's not on Tuesdays. But man, I'd love to be. I'll be able to watch it on Facebook though.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook.
So any of y'all that aren't there, tune in. Voice of Zion Malden. I don't know what their Facebook's called, but Jeremiah will be on there doing his thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome, man.
A little nervous.
I was about to say I love seeing you step out, because you're not a big public speaker,
right?
And I love seeing you step out. And
I don't mind talking at round table stuff, just small group, but just stick me in front of people with a mic. This is a little different,
Yeah.
with you and the podcast, but to have people sitting there staring at me, I get a little hot under the collar. I get a little sweaty. I ain't gonna lie.
From Jeremiah.
No, it's always like, I feel horrible. I feel, very anxious and nervous and scared, building up to it.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I get the mic in my hand, the few times I've done it, it's like, that anointing starts to flow and God shows up and when he takes control and, you get out of the way, then it always goes well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we hope for. That's what we hope happens every time we grab the mic.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what happens if you go up there with the right heart, and just let God do his thing. That's usually what happens.
Right. And I almost every time I've done it, I've prepared and thought I had all this together, what I wanted to say. And then you get up there and then most of that just goes right out the window. Yeah. And then the Holy Spirit takes you in a different direction. And that's what you want, because that's what's effective. What we come up with, may have a little effect, but just a little drop of the Holy Spirit involvement in it will just,
blow that out of the water.
Oh
yeah. And a lot of times those notes that I found, I'm not a big note taker. Like usually I write down kind of points, but I found out that most of what I've studied and looked at and any note taking that I take it is just for me. That's for me because almost every message is directed at me and then it hits me hard and then I can give it, send it out. And that's what
I think the effective speakers, that's what most of the time happens. It's a message for them. God has given them for their own personal life, but then they want to share that because they've experienced some growth in that area or God has showed them something, some revelation in that area. And then you just want to share that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, I'm excited for that. Like I said, I'm going to check that out on Facebook for sure. Man, I'm going to see what time we get out. What time does it start? Is it
6:30.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see what time we get out and I might stop by at the tail end.
Yeah.
On my way back home. But yeah. So what do you look forward to the most in season 2?
Man, season 2. I think we talked about getting more, guests on here and more involvement.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be cool, whether it be over the phone or have them actually here in the studio with us. But, man, I just look forward to seeing what God wants us to do next.
Yeah.
It's like we stepped out in obedience and in faith and just started doing this, really not knowing what direction to go and what it was going to look like and how it was. Yeah. We didn't even know how to do it, but we did it and God has blessed it and he has used us. And I'm just excited to see what next season, no pun intended there, but you know what I mean? Yeah, but what it's going to bring, cause it's going to be the beginning of a new season for us too, because, we've kind of, worked through some things and moved forward and things are progressing here. The church is really using us both in a way. I mean, using you mightily, but it, got my wife and I involved and, we're just really settling in here and just so happy to be a part of this church and part of this church family. And I'm just excited about the future, man.
And I think you hit the nail right on the head, man, is we've settled in now, when we first not only started the podcast, but started here, because this was a brand new experience for, a good chunk of us that started coming here. And they've accepted us in and placed us and plugged us in places. And it feels like, as we started this church and as we even started this podcast, we kind of trying to find our place, don't want to step on anybody's toes or don't want to, overreach or anything. And then now as we, as episode came, we got more and more comfortable. So I think the first season was a learning and a growing and kind of getting this down. And now it's just going to be we come in and we know what to expect. We know what we're doing and it's more loose and it's more fun and it's just gonna be easier for us to talk about things. And so as we do have those guests on, man, it's going to be awesome to be able to sit down and we don't have to kind of feel stiff and, like, okay, how do I do this? And so, man, I'm just so excited for everything that's coming in season 2, man. I'm so pumped.
Yep.
And just everything that God's doing right now in our lives, man. I'm just so, like we always talk about, just so blessed to be able to do this with you and be able to put this out and see the lives change. You sent me a message the other day of a guy that you knew. And
a guy that I was in Teen Challenge with. I hadn't spoke to him and he was really only there for a few months with me. I knew him, but I didn't know him that well, but he sent me a message and it was just very encouraging. And, it just, those little things like that, man, makes us want to keep doing it.
Yeah. it
For sure.
it like makes you like emotional that it's
It
you
brought
know
me to
it's-
tears.
yeah.
Man, I'm just not lying. I mean, when I read it, it's talking about it right now makes me want to well up a little bit, but it's just, it makes me know that it's making an impact on people, whether we see it or not. Even without the feedback, I know that people are receiving something from what we're doing here, and it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. And that was the thing is we know it's reaching people, you know, because we have pure hearts and we just want to do this and encourage people and give them laughs and give them good things to think about and, you know, good subjects where maybe they're struggling in this and how, you know, they don't feel so alone in that.
Right.
You know, that's what we want this to be, you know, is an escape is, you know, some episodes are going to make you laugh. Some's going to make you cry. Some's going to make you think. And that's what we wanted to do out of this.
Absolutely.
And we know it's touching people, but to get that feedback is on a whole nother level, man. It really is. It's that icing on the cake that's already delicious. But
Right. Well, and it normally comes like in a time whenever, you know, we've really needed something like that. You know, that happened. It was towards the end of our quarantine, you know, and I'd been at home for 3 weeks or whatever. And it was just, I was a little discouraged and, you know, it wasn't nothing bad. It was just, you know, when you're kind of locked up, it's not, you know, you get a little bit discouraged and, you know, so I needed that encouragement back. And it was just, you know, it all boils down to it's just God's way of saying, look, I see you.
Yeah.
You know, I see your obedience. I see your hard work. I see what you're doing. And, you know, I love you. And that's just what it's all about.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. But yeah, I know one thing I wanted to do on this episode of us saying goodbye to season 1 and hello to season 2 is from the bottom of both of our hearts, which I'm going to let Jeremiah speak for himself. But I just want to thank our pastors, Pastor Tim and Pastor Tina, for not only opening their arms to us as we came into this church as our other church closed down, opening our arms, but also putting us to work and plugging us in and having the faith in us. I know right now I'm speaking for me and my wife, having the faith in us to let us be a part of this, but also to put us in these positions to be able to minister to these teenagers and to anybody that I get the chance to. That wasn't something that was required. That wasn't something that was, you know, something that they had to do, but it was something that God spoke to them and they allowed to happen. You know, they could have very easily shut that door and, you know, said no. But they open up their arms and they open up ministry to us and to be able to see lives change is beyond anything that I could ever say. So I want to thank y'all too for that. Y'all better be listening. And we love you. We love you so much. Like I said, me and Pastor Tim has been connected for about 20 years. I think I met him, I was 13 or 14 years old. And from that day, he was so encouraging and so uplifting. And even then, even being a kid, you know, traveling with this drama team and to have a church open up their doors and let us come in and do dramas for them was amazing in itself. But I believe that God put us together that day for something great. And I really feel like we're where we need to be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree with all that. I haven't known Pastor Tim and Tina, you know, nearly as long, but they've just been so good to us and been such good friends and given my wife and I opportunity to work in hospitality here. One of the many things they've let us do, but you know, they kind of, you know, we have first time visitors and stuff, you know, they come see us and we get, you know, information down and give them a gift and stuff like that. But that's really been a way that has opened the door for us to meet people, you know, because at first we were like, we don't know who the visitors are. We just started coming here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I walk up to somebody like, hey, are you new here? Like, I've been coming here 15 years. Like, oh, my bad. I'm the new one. Sorry. But no, it was so good though. You know, and I think they knew that would be good for us to kind of get us out of our comfort zone and you know, put us in a position to be able to serve everything that they've allowed us to do with the Hope International and the food ministry that they do here. I mean, it's just been awesome. And we appreciate them so much and the way they are with Max and Ben, you know, he's Pastor Tim, he's just so good with everyone, you know, but children, man, he just loves the children and, you know, it's good to have a pastor with that heart, you know, because that's where, you know, it's about the older generation, but it's, you know, it's really about our younger generation too. And the church to move forward has to reach and touch and raise up these young ones, you know, to carry this torch on, you know, moving forward. And anyway, my wife and I are just so happy to be here. We couldn't have asked for a better church to God to put us in, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very thankful.
Absolutely. It's been a blast, and we look forward to everything that God's doing here at Lighthouse, and it's everything it's doing with this podcast. And you know, like we said, if share, let us know on Facebook, find us on Facebook, and let us know what your favorite episode was, what your favorite moment was. Even, you know, if it's a corny joke that we told, I'm sure there's plenty of them. Let us know on there. Give us your feedback so that we can, you know, just make every episode better than the last, and every season better than the last. But yeah, let's connect on there and let us know, and share with your friends. Next week we're going to be next episode, which will be coming out Thursday. We're going to be starting season 2, and we're going to be back on YouTube, so we'll have the video version of it up as well. If you haven't already, follow my YouTube channel. I might as well plug here.
Yeah, do it.
Mike Bob. It's just daily vlogging and kind of going through life, and really the point of it is just kind of being goofy.
It's cool.
My goodness, it's mostly just youth acting crazy.
It's entertaining for sure.
Yeah. Also, if you haven't already, download the Lighthouse Dexter app. Put it on your phone to keep you up to date with everything going on. I know right now we're doing the bell ringing. Help, you know, Sister Megan out with that. But we do daily Bible studies, daily vlogs. Missy does our daily blogs. So just that'll help you stay up to date. The Lighthouse Dexter app. It is available on Apple and Android devices. Put it on there and stay up to date. Also, we got a new website that's about to be put up. It is under the works, almost done. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be very cool. And so stay up to date on that, and we'll keep you up to date on when that goes live.
Awesome.
I think I got it all. I got to get better at that.
I was going to throw in there. I know I always invite everybody to church with us, but also we have a 9 o'clock men's group and women's group.
Yeah.
My wife is doing Joyce Meyer Battlefield of the Mind study, and the men have been doing a study that is done by Verse Ministries on end times, and it's been really, really good. So 9 o'clock Sunday mornings, come here and check it out.
Oh yes, absolutely. And then Brother Rick does the men's meeting, right?
Well, okay, Rick and Brother Kevin.
Okay.
They've kind of both been
cool,
kind of tag teaming that. It's been really good.
Yeah, I know it's been good. And I know I kind of glanced a little bit at that Joyce Meyer book, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I know Missy is amazing anyway, so
yeah.
So she's 9 really o'clock every Sunday morning.
Yep, 9 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah. Now is there any sign up or anything for that?
Nope,
just kind of come.
Just show up.
Okay.
Show up and we'll get you a book and get you plugged in.
Oh yeah. And I know that'll be kind of a little section that we're going to do on the website also. We'll have the men and women's ministry, so that, you know, say you miss a week, you know, you'll be able to stay kind of caught up on what they talked about. And, you know, if you need to get a hold of them, we'll have all their information on there, and pictures, so that, you know, as you walk in, who you need to talk to and kind of figure out where it's at. So,
and even if you're, you know, afraid of getting in the middle of, as soon as this is over, there'll be something else.
Yep.
You know, there's always going to be Sunday morning, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Men and women.
Boom. Oh yes. Yeah, man, I'm just blessed, dude. Blessed.
Me too.
Glad to have you back. Glad to have you alive. Oh my goodness.
You know, like I said, I wasn't the one that got sick. My wife, bless her heart, you know, she was so sick for so many days, and I'm glad she's back to 100%.
Oh yeah.
It was rough without her.
Yeah,
it was rough, man. I ate too much ramen noodle, and
that is so funny. Yeah, and it's like,
no, you know what's crazy? I'm joking when I say I ate ramen noodle. I never ate ramen noodle the whole time she was sick. She'd get up and cook. She would get up and do things. You know, it's like if I would have been as rough as she was, you know, if I would have been in that
the man flu. Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have got anything out of me, man. You wouldn't have got anything out of me. She was still doing laundry and trying to keep things together. You know, bless her heart, man. She would get up and she would try to do something for about 15, 20 minutes, and then she would just be wiped out and have to sleep for like 2 hours. Yeah. But then she'd get up and she'd try again. So, you know, shout out to you, babe. I love you so much, and you're so strong, and you keep us all.
I know you put the picture up of like her doing Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner. She did a whole dinner. Yeah. Oh, we had carrot cake in a roll, like a big fat roll of carrot cake, the size coffee. Oh, I thought of you.
Yeah. Oh, did you? While you were eating,
I almost sent you a picture of it.
Oh, that's messed. She made it.
Oh yeah, she made it twice now. It's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Missy, me and you's gonna have something to talk about Thursday. I want one by this weekend. Oh man,
It's
that's
so
my
good.
favorite. I'm not a big cake person, and that is my
Man,
favorite.
I love cake. I think we've talked about that before. It's because that's an odd cake to
Yeah.
have in common. It's like
Yeah.
your favorite cake. you
Yeah,
know?
it's right.
I,
And you never.
I
see
love
it.
carrot cake.
Man, I had a buddy once that we had praise and worship practice, and he went to the Amish store, like the where they sold food or whatever, and he bought me, knew that was my favorite, so he brought me a cake to practice. Oh, it was oh my goodness gracious, it was so. He was the real MVP that day, for real. I mean, it was just random. Oh, so good, carrot cake, love it. Carrot cake and ice cream. That's the way to my heart.
Okay. You seen the peach cobbler that she made too, right? It was like steaming.
Oh no,
Picture. Oh yeah, it's hot peach cobbler with
I'm
ice
not big
cream on
about
it.
peach cobbler, but
Man,
yeah.
she's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
Anyway, you're the
Christmas
best.
is right around the corner.
Yes, it is. Do you know today's my birthday?
No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I seen that on Facebook. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen it on Facebook. I thought it was yesterday.
It's today.
I thought,
It's today.
well, that's awesome. So we're going to take, we haven't done this in a while. We're going to take this a little bit more time here and talk about Jeremiah for his birthday.
Oh, I don't want to talk about me.
So you're 35 now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Plus 6.
Oh, really? You're that old?
Yeah, you know I'm that old.
Man.
Yeah. I've had a great day. My wife made me breakfast in bed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Burger King. Thank you.
That's right, because we were going to go to Mexican.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tonight. Yeah. It was like kind of last minute thing that she kind of
Ain't no kind of to it. It was last
It
night.
was last night, wasn't it? or Friday or Saturday sometime. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few people who show up, I think.
That's
Doesn't
awesome.
matter. I'm gonna go eat. It's my birthday.
That's right. Man, I remember last year for your birthday. That was
Yeah, it
so
was-
funny.
yeah.
Like we went to eat Mexican. It was in Malden, and I remember us sitting there, and then all of a sudden we hear
You talking
go,
about the dessert?
yes. So we're just sitting there, like we eat and we're talking, and then we just hear, "Whoa!" Like what? Like we thought you spilled something or something, and they had like randomly brought out a shot of tequila, and just like said it was like sitting in front of you, like, "Whoa!"
Well, yeah, they came out and like they sang or something or did
Yeah.
something, but then I looked down and there was tequila in front of me. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Like no, thank you.
Right on that.
And I think right before that, because they brought the sombrero out.
Yeah.
And I took a picture, and I was gonna
You're gonna post it. Right?
Yeah.
There's a shot in front
Yeah, I
of me.
didn't realize that there was a shot. Yeah, I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I sent it back.
Awesome. Yes, for anybody wondering, yes, it got. We were like, no, thank you. And yeah, it got sent back. It didn't.
Oh, it's funny though.
Yeah. It was just it was random. I was just like, whoa. All right.
I had a good time. Jeremy actually came up
Yep.
and
That was the first time we met him.
met him. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun.
Doing good. He's doing good. I talked to him this morning. He's headed to Georgia for over Christmas, and
Oh yeah.
anyway, he's doing good. I'd like to get him back on here again and give us a little update because they had that fire and they've had a lot of things going on up there.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Florida or Georgia where his,
Yeah,
where
Georgia.
his kids were at.
Florida Georgia line.
Oh gosh.
You got the one.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Man,
Oh
that's
man.
so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, another year older.
Yep.
This is not a great year to celebrate, but
It's been a funky year, you know.
yeah.
It's been good. You know, even I always say, you know, God's still good, even in the midst of this craziness.
Yep.
You know, it could be something that could really set you back. You can get really depressed if you think about it. But if you look at God and his provision and his hand of protection and his love in the midst of all of it,
Yep.
it's just amazing.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Man, that would suck having a birthday this close to Christmas.
it has always.
So growing up, was it one of those? Hey, we're going to give you your Christmas and birthday, on the same day.
I mean, but it kind of works out sometimes because you do get like, you know, you couldn't ask for like a PlayStation 4 or something, you know, for your birthday, but you can be like, can you make it for both?
yeah, that's
And then,
true.
and then you kind of come out pretty good.
Do the bigger,
Yeah. Sometimes the bigger was even bigger than two, you know,
yeah, that's true.
sometimes. What made it rough is my brother's is like 6 days after mine. So it's like my birthday
gosh.
and his birthday and Christmas all.
Christmas.
So it's like, hey, boom. It's all
I feel so
one
bad for your
big shot.
parents.
And you're, yeah, no kidding.
Oh
Think
man,
about that part.
And then so did y'all do like joint birthdays?
Yes, that's what I'm
birthday
saying.
parties?
Like we had birthday parties together. So you
Oh,
didn't even really
that's-
get your own birthday. And then your birthday was also kind of Christmas. But
Yeah.
it's all good.
How old is he?
He is 4 years younger than I am. So he'll be 37 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. But
So is this what this whole
this was
the whole
No
beard
Shave November.
is
This is mid-December.
is the whole beard? Is that a midlife crisis? Is that
No,
what's
I was quarantined and I didn't shave. And then I was like, I've never tried to even grow a beard. So I tried.
I think it looks good though.
Okay.
And the little bit of gray that you got.
I call it salt and pepper.
Yeah. It looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was really hoping we could be on video today so everybody could see my beard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know that I'll have it when we do
Oh,
this
come
Thursday.
on. Just keep it. Yeah,
I look like I crawled out from under a rock. I feel like it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Happy birthday, bud.
Thank you. I mean, I did have to bring that up,
I know, right? I sure did forget. I sure did.
Oh, it's all right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I got no,
Yeah,
I got
it's
no-
not
I
a
got
big
no
deal, man.
excuse. Yeah, I got no
I think you
excuse,
hit an age where it's like you don't really even get to celebrate birthdays anymore. I'm not. Now, my wife is huge
She
on
celebrates
birthdays.
them.
Oh, it's.
See, that's how
I
am.
made a
like-
mistake this last year, and I won't make it again.
Yep.
You put some time and you put some thought into
Yeah,
these birthdays,
oh, yeah.
or it is
Or
not
else.
not good.
That is. So when's hers?
July
Oh, okay.
18th,
At least it's a little farther away from here.
19 something.
It's almost,
almost
you
said it.
almost messed up. 19 is there a 7 that comes after that.
I said something.
She's gonna kill us.
Yeah, her and I were both born in the 70s. Think about that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, I was December of 79.
I was
Come on.
the
in
latter
there.
part of the 80s. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
So just remember that. Respect your elders.
that's right. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, Julie.
How's mama?
She made me so mad last night.
Oh,
But we ain't going to talk about that on
Okay.
here. Maybe next time.
okay. Wait till we have the women here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Why? So my wife can have her side? Like that's gonna be worse. Double team, man. That's not fun. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I hope you have a great birthday.
I've already had a great
That
birthday.
is awesome. I'll have your present Sunday.
Okay.
Ba-boom.
Ba-boom. All right. Hey, thank you all for joining us. This has been Michael and Jeremiah with the Almost Brothers podcast. And remember, if you don't have a home church, come check us out at the Lighthouse here in Dexter, 8:30 outside service in the parking lot, 10 o'clock inside. We love y'all.
Happy birthday to you.
Yay.